In the museum, a long line of people in the park, children and adults. The line moved slowly. Only one person at a time went through the massive doors. I felt like leaving, but didn't. John was somewhere in front, reading a newspaper. Pamela was polishing her nails. I haven't had anything to eat. Susan was next to me, unconcerned. Everybody I knew was there. I couldn't leave. Slowly we moved. The trees were of a colour painters are fond of depicting. The crowd sang songs no musician has ever written. This kept me amused. Here I was in the park and was nearing the entrance. Those who have gone before were already inside the museum, separated from us. Susan gave me an apple, which I ate with unconcern. At last we reached the door. I never carry anything, so they did not search me. The price of the ticket was scandalous. I had to empty my pockets. They refused a cheque for the missing halfpenny. When I asked for a recount, the people behind me grew angry and pushed down the barriers. They all entered with me and nobody else paid, although I still owe for the extra halfpenny. Everybody was now inside the museum. The rooms were packed. I wanted to look around, but could not get near the exhibits. John was still a little ahead, still reading his newspaper. Pamela was putting mascara on. Susan pulled me by the sleeve and said, "Just look at this." I had to hold her hand, for suddenly I felt frightened, for what I saw was my own home turned into a museum. Everything neatly hung and labelled. "They have made me pay," I shouted. "They have made me pay twice. First for the materials, then for the exhibition. All my life has been stolen from me. Paintings I've done years ago, the entire product of my life, all on the walls, in the glass cases." John was still ahead, reading the newspaper. Pamela was adjusting her hair. Susan pulled me towards the far wall where hung my favourite painting, which was stolen from me years ago, just as I remembered it, the old chair and chessboard with my favourite game clearly shown just before the decisive move. In a glass case, my manuscripts, all those futile, meaningless words, neatly indexed, deftly described, and I was not allowed to look, not allowed to touch, unable to alter anything. My works of art, my writings, they charged me to see them, all stolen from me. Susan was standing in front of a glass case. She still looked unconcerned, but in the glass case was a bead bag, which once belonged to her and now lay on green velvet. An exhibit. The mouth of the bag was open. There they were, all her precious things and careful notes and drawings of furniture and flowers. All this I only mention to show that I know that everybody there, especially Susan, was robbed of our things, of our thoughts, and then made into an exhibit. This was the new catch. All that multitude groping to see their own lives, neatly indexed, accredited, catalogued. The red and black period, circa 1968. John was still a little ahead, reading a newspaper. Pamela examined her nails critically. Susan and I were the last to leave. What I love about her is that she is still unconcerned, whereas the very thought of it makes me hot with rage. As for John, not only has John disappeared, but also all that knowledge he gleaned from his reading.